In the beginning of 2019, I decided I wasn't going to go it alone. So I went to Funnel Hacking Live. Funnel Hacking Live is basically an event put on by ClickFunnels, and they bring together some great speakers. Dean Graziosi, Tony Robbins has been there in the past. And they'll have these different speakers and give you an overall experience, but a lot of that is also meeting the different people. It was awesome, and I met a lot of cool people. And it worked. I went there, I learned a bunch, and all these different people, a few of them I got together with on a regular basis. Figured out a few things together. But distance and time, it quickly kind of fell apart. During the challenge, I don't think you should go it alone at all. In fact, if you can, grab a buddy and do the challenge together, or join the Facebook group. Okay, so what does this all have to do with the Profit Engine Challenge? At the core of all that you're going to be doing, you have to hook people in, then give them an experience. And a lot of this revolves around a story, whether you're developing that story or telling that story. And then you've got the offer, because you're not just offering out to people a product, you're offering them an experience. But regardless of what is going to happen with the Profit Engine Challenge and the multiple streams of income, having the hook story offer at your base, at your core, is going to drive a lot of your success. I'm going to back this up with a lot of different people, not only from ClickFunnels and Funnel Hacking Live, but elsewhere. It's a lot of fun when you kind of noodle around and experience it. But here, let me show you the clip first.
When you delve into the stories that a lot of entrepreneurs have here at this event, you'll realize there's a lot of things that you can use within your own business. So if you follow along here, I'm going to be talking to several different people about their story and what gets them inspired about Funnel Hacking Live, and also about creating on a regular basis, creating content on a regular basis. Take some of those takeaways to use in your own business.
My name is Jason Yamanaka. And Yamanaka, little tidbit, is Japanese. It means mountain inside, broken down into Japanese characters. So I'm Jason from inside the mountain. I'm always searching for freedom, right? And so my first goal is, how do I create freedom in my life where I can live and work anywhere? And of course, that's make money online. And so you try to figure out how to make money online. And then you deep dive, and then you ask yourself, well, what kind of value can you provide? Because first you have to provide some kind of value. And so you start questioning yourself to being like, well, am I good enough to actually provide value to people, just kind of help them? And then I started deep diving into, well, okay, who am I? What have I done? What's my experience? And what can you share? Because I'm not gonna share to people how to make $1 million because I haven't made $1 million. I can't share with people how to be a great parent because I haven't been a great parent. And so then I started asking myself, well, what have I done that has really helped myself first? And in my 20s, I've been able to, I did what I asked myself what I wanted to do when I was 20. And so when I was 20, I said to myself, I want to look back on my life when I'm older and say I've lived a life worth writing a book about, full of stories and experiences. And I don't want to be a corporate slug. And then I said to myself, well, how can I do that? I got to get overseas. Because when you get overseas, no matter what, it's going to be an experience, and you're going to have stories coming out from it just by going. Because you're going out to the unknown. And I'm fortunate enough I did that for the past 10 years. And reflecting on that, I've come to kind of realize that can have an impact on people, on the youth of university students, maybe people thinking about buying a house in their 20s, they just got married and you want to buy a house. I tell all my friends, don't buy a house, go overseas. People who are in a corporate job for the past 10 years, take a break and go overseas. Change up your routine. And for me, changing up my routine was just go overseas on a one-way ticket. And from being here and listening to people's stories, my impact isn't about how to make money. I feel like my impact can be to to go adventure a bit, to go live overseas because the world is so big. Don't get stuck in America. I mean, we're privileged to be in America, but from that privilege, you don't understand that privilege until you live somewhere else. You really don't. Until you live in poverty or you're surrounded by other people in third world countries. I lived in Cambodia for 4 years. And that's what I want to share, I realize, because don't just go travel to go party and go on vacation to exotic places and take pictures on the beaches for your Instagram. Go overseas and get involved in the community, work with the local people. You don't understand the language, so you really start speaking to the soul of people because you connect with a smile, with a handshake, with how they live. It gives you a different perspective in life, and I think that's really important for our youth, for everyone. And so that's the biggest thing about it. People have been like, Jason, that's real value that you're providing. So now I'm no longer thinking about, okay, how to make money on the internet. I'm actually thinking about, well, okay, my message is a good message for other people to hear, and I do have the experience to share. And so that justification, that validation for myself, I guess, is allowing me to believe in myself and what I've done is okay, and that other people might want to hear.
How's it going? My name's Timothy TJ Haynes with Warrior Dad Nation and Warrior Dad Fitness. Let's see. Well, one of the things about creating content for me and why I'm so dedicated to doing it, whether I'm doing it 5:45 in the morning like today, or whether I'm doing it 9:45 at night on a work day, literally at the gym creating live content, because I know that there's dads out there full of shame, regret, remorse, guilt, all these different things, especially the ones that are like me that were ex-athletes, and now they're looking at themselves in the mirror after they just helped finish, not only did they finish their plates, but then they took their kids' leftover pizza and they finished their kids' pizza. How many of us do that? Finish their chicken nuggets, help them finish their fries, start dipping into all their stuff on top of what we just ate. And they're just, we get kind of lost in our own little path, and I want to help them because that was me, and I have this amazing journey that I went through where I started to become the hero of my own story, and I want to help dads become the hero of not only their own story but of their kids' story, because the effect that this transformation, making the transformation and finally figuring out how to fix myself and fix my life and plugging all the codes in and figuring out how to overcome all the obstacles I had, the health issues, the diabetes, the hypoglycemia, the endocrine system issues, the injured shoulder, hip, knee, all these things were holding me back, and they were my excuses. I just wasn't getting it done. And I would tell my kids, you can do anything you put your mind to. Oh, don't forget to finish your vegetables. Meanwhile, I'm being a hypocrite because I wasn't getting things done that I wanted to put my mind to. I wanted to figure out how to fix my health. I wanted to figure out how to get in shape. I wanted to be a better role model to my kids. I couldn't figure it out, and I was giving up. I almost completely gave up, and then finally I made that change. I had some moments that changed my life, and I wanted to make that change in my life, and I did. And I started making that change, and it was not easy in the beginning. I mean, I had stumbles and falls because I didn't have a system laid out for me. I was trying to figure it out. I bought this system, I bought that system, get lean in 12 and try to do 12-minute abs every day, and that just didn't work. I spent thousands of dollars on supplements, diet programs, exercise programs, and this stuff just didn't work. And then when I fully committed and I started plugging in these pieces and I met this person, I'm like, wait a minute. And then I told my kids, this is what I want to do. I committed to my kids. I want to make a difference. I want to change my life, and I want to be a better example to you guys. And that started changing everything. And even when I would stumble, I would think about my kids, the promise I had made to them. And I wrote a warrior code for myself, a new code, a new standard, a line in the sand. I made a decision to change forever. And that decision has changed my life. And that commitment to my kids, that promise I made to them, made the hugest difference in my life. And so I started chomping away at it, and maybe I'd slip backwards a little bit, and I'd think about my kids, and I'd figure it out, and I'd run into a wall or an obstacle, and then I'd do research, and I'd try to figure out what else can I do to plug into this. How can I get around this shoulder injury? How could I actually lift weights again? Because I knew that strength training was going to be an important part. And I did all these things that changed my journey. And then to see the change in my kids' lives, how my changing myself was changing their lives, I can't tell you what that means to me. And just fast forward a little bit, literally, that was about 2 weeks ago now. I was on my way taking my daughter to a volleyball tournament. And she said, "Dad," this mom was asking me, "Why do you talk so much about your dad?" And she says, "Because I look up to him. He's my role model. He inspires me." Sorry. She said, "He's my hero." She's saying this to me, and I'm trying to drive. And she's 14 and a half. Dads are not supposed to be cool at her age. And she idolizes me now. Now she wants to introduce me to her friends. Before she's like, "Oh, drop me off over here." And I would drop her off, and she'd go off and like disappear and go see her friends. Now she's like, "Oh, can you pull up next to my friends? I want to introduce you to them. They don't believe me." And then I got out of the car and introduced her, and she introduced me to her friends, and she's like, "That's my dad." So you want to know why I keep filming and making content and doing these Facebook Lives, even when I don't want to, even if I don't necessarily feel that great? It's because I know that there's dads out there that want to make that change, and they want their kids to look up to them like he's their hero, like you're their hero, and you can do it. Just got to get it done. You got to find it. And that's why I'm actually writing a book, and I'm creating a system. I'm putting a whole thing together. I'm working 7 days a week. I still work my full-time job, and I'm doing this. I'm building this whole thing up, and I'm at this amazing event right now with a bunch of other entrepreneurs because I want to make an impact. Because I made a promise years ago that I had forgotten about, that if I could fix myself and my issues and my health issues, and I could overcome all these obstacles that I had in my life, then I want to help other people that are maybe struggling just like I was struggling. I want to become the hero of my own story. And then in doing so, the byproduct that I found out is I became the hero of my kid's story. And it's priceless. I mean, the moments that I had even last night talking to my son on the phone from Nashville, Tennessee, where we are right now, and my son's in Northern California, and I practically broke into tears talking to him because he says, "Dad, I want to come with you and meet all these entrepreneurs next year." And I said, "You know what? I told you before that you had to be 10. I said, I think I was wrong. If you want to come that bad, I'm bringing you to the next one of these events." Because he's like, "Because Dad, I look up to you." He says, "I want to make a difference the way that you want to make a difference." And so if I can have that effect on them just from changing myself, and other dads can change themselves and have that effect on their kids and their families, then all the sleepless nights, this working 7 days a week, the crazy hours I'm working, and all the sacrifices I've made, and all the obstacles I had to overcome to get to where I am right now, where I'm in amazing shape, and not because like, "Oh, look at me, I'm so awesome," but the way that I feel and the way that my kids look up to me is unbelievable. It's priceless. It's absolutely priceless. So if I can help other people find that and make that change in their lives, and it's all worth it. And that's why I'm here, and I'm hearing these other entrepreneurs sharing their stories and making differences. I met this gal, Lisa, that started a program for mothers and daughters. It's a suicide prevention program. And if I wouldn't have been here, I wouldn't have met her, and we had this amazing conversation. We were both crying, and I was hearing her story, and now she's got 186,000 followers, and she's making an impact in all these people's lives. And I thought, wow, if I could make that kind of an impact in other dads' lives, then I can make an impact on their kids and on their families, one dad at a time. So, I mean, I didn't rehearse this or anything. I'm just sharing from the heart, and I hope this helps somebody, and I'm so grateful to be here, and I'm so glad I met Wyatt. Because I just met Wyatt earlier today, just a little bit ago, at this little burger place to get a bite to eat, and I'm so grateful for that and the impact this place and this event are having on my lives. Unbelievable. And my son joined the Apex for Kids, that's Caleb Maddox's program, and he's watching Caleb's videos now, and he's super inspired, and we ordered his books, and those are in the mail on the way, and my dad's like, my son's like, when are the books coming, Dad? And I said, I don't know, but they'll probably be there by the time I get back. He's like, okay, we could read them together. And I said, you got it, son. So, sorry for breaking down, but that's my story, and I'm glad I could share it with you. And my name's Timothy T.J. Haynes with Warrior Dad, and I'm so glad to share this with you.
All right, pretty powerful stories. And in reviewing that, it reminds me of how much of an impact interacting with other people at this event, what it was like. And so I have some more for you in the upcoming videos of different people that I talked to, and I'll share those with you. But at the outset, I hope you're taking away from this that it's not just freedom, it's impacting other people, and it's getting to the core of what you're offering is more than just a product. It's more than just something that someone gets in exchange for money. It's the impact that you can create and the experience you can fulfill with other people that follow you along. So you're developing that trust, and you're developing that relationship with the content that you create. And then out of that comes the different offers that you might have. But it's not about the offers entirely. It's about that relationship that you build. And so many times it's just said in business as a way to kind of do up a mission statement and the marketing or whatnot. But when you get the impact, when you understand the people at the other end, when you see them as people and not just subscribers, when you see them as people and not just a buyer, and when you connect with those people, really connect and make it a small audience, not a huge audience, but a small audience where you actually talk to and know these people, that's where I think the impact is available to you and to them. And that's why, it's cool watching the van lifers do their thing as well, because they'll have different events. They'll come together with their subscribers. And so it's a relationship, and it's an experience, and it's something that you can thrive off of, not just as a monetary means of creating freedom for yourself, but also making an impact to other people. So I really hope that you're enjoying this so far, and join into further videos in the Profit Engine Challenge, creating that freedom, but also making an impact in the world. If you want more of the Profit Engine Challenge and videos like this, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you.